My child, you don't have to earn me. You don't have to prove yourself worthy of my attention. You don't have to impress me with discipline. You don't have to present a polished version of yourself before you come close. I'm not standing at a distance waiting for you to improve. I am not observing you with a checklist. I am not measuring your effort before deciding whether to love you today. I am not waiting to love you. I already do. Somewhere along the way, you began to believe that love must be maintained, that approval must be secured, that closeness must be deserved, that if you do not perform well enough, something will be withdrawn. So you try. You try to pray more consistently. You try to eliminate every weakness. You try to manage every thought. You try to feel more passionate, more focused, more spiritually impressive. You promise yourself you will do better tomorrow. And when you fail, even slightly, something inside you whispers, now God is disappointed. Listen carefully. I am not fragile. My love does not fluctuate with your performance. It does not shrink when you stumble. It does not expand when you succeed. It is not strengthened by your discipline, nor weakened by your struggle. Romans 5:8 says, but God demonstrates his own love for us in this. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. While you were still imperfect, while you were still inconsistent, while you were still wrestling with doubt, while you were still prone to mistakes, I did not wait for improvement. I moved first. Before you corrected yourself, before you matured, before you grew in discipline. Love that waits for worth is not love. Love that demands earning is a contract. I did not enter into a contract with you. I made a covenant. A contract says, perform and you will be accepted. A covenant says, you are accepted and I will remain. You think your obedience earns my affection, but obedience flows from love. It does not create it. Ephesians 2:8-9 says, for it is by grace you have been saved through faith, not by works so that no one can boast. Grace means gift. A gift is not negotiated. It is not achieved. It is not maintained through effort. It is received. If you could earn me, you would constantly fear losing me. You would wonder if you prayed enough, if you repented enough, if you improved enough. But what is given by grace cannot be maintained by performance. Some of you are exhausted not because life is overwhelming, but because you are trying to carry your worth. You measure your spiritual value by consistency. You measure your closeness to me by emotional intensity. You measure my approval by how productive your faith appears. But I am not scoring you. I am loving you. 1 John 4:10 says, this is love, not that we loved God, but that he loved us. Notice the order. Not that you loved me first. Not that you proved yourself. Not that you earned attention through discipline. I loved you before the growth, before the breakthrough, before the habits improved, before the transformation became visible. You are not trying to reach my love. You are living from it. When you fail, you assume distance. When you struggle, you assume withdrawal. When you fall short, you assume disappointment. But distance is not my response to weakness. Compassion is. Psalm 103:13-14 says, as a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear him, for he knows how we are formed. He remembers that we are dust. I know your limits. I know your tendencies. I know your emotional patterns. I know the habits you are still unlearning. I know how long change can take, and I am not surprised. You are not disappointing me by being human. You are not shocking me with your struggle. I knew everything about you before I called you mine. Performance-based love creates anxiety. You never know if you have done enough. You never know if you have prayed enough, repented enough, served enough. You live in quiet tension, but my love is not conditional. It is anchored in my character, and my character does not shift. You do not wake up to earn me. You wake up already held. You do not pray to secure my affection. You pray from a place of affection. You do not obey to keep me close. You obey because I am already near. Some of you are afraid to rest spiritually, because resting feels like laziness, like regression. like risking disapproval. But love that demands constant proving is not my voice. My voice says, come, not qualify. Come, not impress. Come, not prove. You think you must become a better version of yourself before you can be fully accepted. But transformation is not the entry fee. It is the fruit of security. When you finally understand that I already love you, fully, presently, without hesitation, something shifts. Obedience becomes response, not pressure. Holiness becomes gratitude, not fear. Growth becomes natural, not forced. You stop striving to earn what has already been given. You begin to live from assurance instead of anxiety. My child, I am not waiting at the finish line of your improvement. I am walking with you in the middle of your becoming. I am present in the process. I am not observing from a distance, evaluating your progress. I am near. You don't have to build a resume of righteousness. You don't have to accumulate spiritual achievements. You don't have to negotiate from my presence. I loved you at your weakest. I loved you before you ever tried. I love you in the middle of your growth, and I will love you when you stumble again. Nothing about your inconsistency surprises me. Nothing about your struggle disqualifies you. Nothing about your humanity exhausts me. You are not held by how well you perform. You are held by who I am, and I do not change. Not on your worst day. Not on your most distracted day. Not on your most inconsistent day. I am not measuring you against perfection. I am shaping you through relationship. So stop exhausting yourself, trying to secure what has already been given. Stop striving for what was never withheld. Stop fearing that one mistake will push me away. My love is not fragile. It is firm. It is steady. It is deliberate. I'm not waiting for you to become someone else before I love you more. I already love you completely. Right now, as you are, and I am not leaving.